Welcome, my friend, to Hello Main Street, where we talk about thought provoking tips, tricks, and ideas for fellow entrepreneurs just like you. I am your host, Monica Sanchez. Thank you so much for being with me today. Today, we are going to be talking about financial health. In February 2024, I had read an article about Ashwin Joshi. He is a high school student at Southridge High School. He championed the financial education bill that required financial education as a graduate requirement in high school. And I reached out to him. I congratulated him on what he's doing. I think that is amazing. I love to see young people striving out on their mission and goals in life and wanting to help others. So I reached out and I just congratulated him and wished him all the success. But it really got me to thinking because in 2020, my youngest daughter, she had come up to me and asked me about talking with somebody for her financials, right? Now, she doesn't have a job yet or anything, but she was curious. And so my other daughter had chimed in, who was in high school at the time. And she had said, "Oh, don't worry about it. You'll learn all of that when you go to high school and your last year, right? Your senior year." And my youngest daughter, she was like, thought for a second and goes, "But why do I have to wait so long to learn about finances?" And that is such a true factor. I think we shouldn't have to wait. Usually, we tend to learn what we receive through our parents. And I've taught them some things about savings and everything, but I'm not a financial advisor. So I was like, okay, that you made a valid point. I really appreciate that. Of course, we got her to talking with a financial advisor to answer her questions that were beyond my means. But I thought, that's really interesting. How many other people have questions about finances, but we just don't talk about money. We don't talk about finances. And I feel like maybe there's times we don't do that because it's very much like when somebody goes on a diet, right? You tell somebody you're going on a diet, and then pretty soon everybody is watching to see what you eat or don't eat and starts to criticize or point things out. And then you can get discouraged or they would bring things they knew you couldn't eat. And so here you're salivating, right? So a lot of people are very hush hush. And sometimes there's a stigma that comes behind it. Sometimes there's a shame behind it that I don't know how to save money. I don't know what the best route is to go. And so as I was doing some research, I thought it was really interesting that I was looking at, according to the bank rate, that less than 40% of Americans have emergency funds. I didn't realize that because, that's not me. I'm not in that category, but I was like, oh, that is really interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. So as I continued more research, then also I saw another one here that said Experian reported that most of households carry $90,000 in debt. So I'm like, how can that be true? I can understand a mortgage and all of that, but then there's extra debt that comes with it. And then as I continued on, of course, it says here that 20% of Americans have low credit scores. And there's simple ways to increase your credit score so then that way you can get a better rate, and so on and so forth. So I was like, wow, this really is intriguing to me. And so what I've done is recently was able to connect with Women of Wisdom Tri-Cities, and I'm going to share this with you here. And what I like here, it is a financial freedom, right? I know for myself personally, before I became an entrepreneur, I knew that I had to set aside money. I knew that I needed to make sure that if I was going to change my trajectory in life, or at least dabble in it, right, and try it out and see where I go. I didn't want to be a burden on my household. I didn't want to be a burden on my husband saying, okay, I'm going to go be an entrepreneur and you go ahead and pay all of the household bills and then also fund my endeavors as well. So I took that burden off of him. And I said, okay, great. If I'm going to be an entrepreneur, I need to save at least 2 years worth of finances. And so I'm proud to say that I was able to do that, right? Not live beyond my means, and then be able to set aside at least 2 years worth of my paycheck, right? So if anything happened, I knew I could dip into it at any point in time if I needed it. And I'm proud to say I didn't need it. I actually have put money back in our own pockets. And then also what I've done is I was able to find ways where I could have a business, sell the business, so then that way I could fund another project, right? So if you're interested, I would love to invite you to come to these. We're going to be offering them throughout Yakima. That's the ones that I will be hosting. And then also in Tri-Cities, where we have my other teammates who will be hosting those in that area. We'll be talking about financial coaching. We'll be talking about career coaching as well, and really helping you to get onto the right path. You can click on the QR code that's right down there. And then we can have one-on-one conversations. Not everybody's going to know about your finances. We'll have general classes, and then we'll have one-on-one coaching classes as well. We're wanting to provide these not only in person, but then also to groups of people. We can even do them online. So if you're like, hey, I would love to have my team learn about finances and how to save for their retirement and prepare for their retirement. I know that I've been approached by a couple other companies who said, we would love for you to come and talk with our employees so that way they can get on the right track. Because I feel like when you get on the right track for your own path in life, it's going to be not only set up for yourself, but then for future generations, right? And so that really warms my heart that I really want to help out. I want to be that contributing factor in being able to help others to get on that right path. It is such a rewarding feeling. I know that when we had paid off the house, I thought, okay, yes, we're going to pay off the house and it'll be fine. But I didn't realize the relief and the exhilaration I would feel knowing that I have a forever home. I just have to maintain it, which we've done a really good job at, and pay the taxes and keep the lights on. And I have somewhere where I could live for the rest of my life if I needed to, or my family needed to. So if you're like, hey, I'm ready to start getting off this hamster wheel, I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. I really want to start setting up some savings, either for yourself or for your future, for your children, or what are ways that we can go about doing this in small increments. I'm not saying you have to go on a crash diet and dive in at 100% and do everything, right? But you need to take full control of your own life, of your own information, your own banking, and really set yourself on that goal, because then you get the opportunity. What I loved that I did this was that I had the opportunity to choose and go where I wanted to. I didn't need to live on a paycheck in order to say, I can't go here, I can't do this. And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a great journey. I really have enjoyed it. And if that's something that you're like, I really would love a little bit more freedom in my lifestyle, let's talk. I'm here to help. Again, as you know, always, you can connect with me right here. I'm going to go right here. There you go. All right. And so let's talk. Let's figure things out. And we will be starting to host classes here in the month of July, getting started. So we can get everybody on the right path, get everyone on the right footing, to be able to help our future generations, help our younger people, help everybody along the way. Because I know feeling financially stressed in relationships or just on your own, it can be very overwhelming and very daunting. And I really want to help to alleviate that pressure off of people, because then from there, if you decide, hey, I don't want to have a 9-to-5 job anymore, I really want to be able to be an entrepreneur, then you can have that freedom to be able to do so if you set yourself up in the right path. So thank you so much for your time. As always, we are better together. I appreciate you. And please do me a favor and sign up. Would love to have you there. I'm going to give you one more information here. So go ahead and give me a call, and we'll be talking more about this as weeks to come. Thank you.